Before we get going into the video, my name is Brando for the new viewers. I'm the founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency. We've been able and so fortunate to work with 100 plus partners. And so the reason I started this channel is to document every framework that I know is proven to work and that actually work so that you can get some value from it and, hopefully make your business a success. With no further ado, I hope you enjoy this video. In today's video, I'm going to bring you through a company doing around 4, 5, 6, maybe even $7 million a month. Maybe even more if I have to be honest. I wasn't exactly sure on the revenue that they're doing, but I did some reverse engineering and calculations, and that's approximately what I came to in terms of the conclusion. So I'm going to bring you through this company, but before we do, if you are a new viewer, and most likely you are, this is just one of our own clients that we're currently managing, just for your own context, so you know that I'm actually qualified to speak about these things. Let me just refresh so you know this is real. They did $35,000 just yesterday, 10% better than the day before. And now, why am I sharing you this? Because there's a lot of skepticism. You don't know me, and so I feel obligated to show you at least some sort of proof, so you know I'm qualified to speak about these things. And just for your more context, I'm Brando. I'm the founder of Brandlux Media. We typically work with 7 and 8 figure e-commerce brands, and I've been able to work with over 100 companies in the last 6 to 7 years. So I feel obligated to share these videos and these case studies so I can share what I've seen to work, not to work, and just obviously, honestly, just share my journey with you. So let's get back into the video here. Now that we got the proof out of the way, this is the company that I'm going to talk about. It's called Javi Coffee. They are an absolute killer company. Let me just shrink myself a little bit. This is what they're doing. I really like what they're doing. And let's go over, before we go over the entire video, let's go over some expectations so we know exactly what we're going to cover and we're on the same page. So first of all, I want to bring you through a concept of essentially how 8-figure brands scale. So there's a big difference between 6, 7, 8, and even 9 figure brands, right? And so every single stage has a different way and framework of scaling it in the first place. So I'm going to bring you through exactly what I've seen based on my observation, how 8-figure brands handle it. I'm going to go over the funnel overview of Javi Coffee so we know exactly step by step what they're doing with their funnel, their ads, their advertorials, their pages, their offer, their upsells, downsells, everything. And then I'm going to go over the advertorial strategy. This is probably one of the killer strategies that they're implementing that's really working well for them. And then of course the UGC creative approach. I always put in the creative approach there because it's honestly one of my favorite aspect of the businesses, of e-commerce businesses we work with, is just scaling with user-generated content. And so we're of course going to go over exactly what they're doing there, which I really like. Now moving forward, let me fulfill the first problem. Is how do 8-figure businesses or brands scale? Now let me show you this chart. This is $1 million per month brand, and this is like just an example so we have some numbers to work with. Typically, this is what an 8-figure brand looks like. They have like a main channel. They have secondary, 2, 3, 4 other channels, maybe also like Pinterest or Snapchat or other secondary channels. And then they have email, which brings in like 20 to 30% of revenue, sometimes even more in some cases, depending on the niche. And then they have a solid like 10, 15, 20% of sales coming from organic. And so these are the types of businesses that we want to build. We don't want to build a business that just has Facebook ads and nothing else, right? What if Facebook ads go down by like 40% in a week because of whatever crisis in the world? Well, if that's the case, if they go 40%, maybe we can recoup a 10% from here, another 10% from here. And so instead of having a 40% decline, we're essentially distributing our business and creating different buckets of cash flow. And maybe instead of having a 40% decline, we have a 10% decline, right? So distribution makes a big role. Another aspect of how 8-figure businesses are scaling is that they launch new products. They launch a lot of different products, and this is the businesses we don't want, right? We rely on like one product mainly, and then like another maybe 5 or 10% of revenue from 2 other products. Especially if it's not a consumable product, you're basically gone after a year, 6 months. Who knows? Maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Who knows? But it's a very inconsistent and unpredictable kind of revenue generating business, right? It's very predictable. So what they're doing, and that's working very well. As you can see, they're adding multiple other categories. Now, did they start with this from the start? I'm not sure. You don't really need all of these categories to start. You can start with 1, 2, or 3 flagship offers, and then you can expand your collections and go after a lot of different products. Now, what I like about coffee is that It's ethically addictive. First of all, that's like maybe a subject for another day, but it's an ethically addictive product. Meaning like people get addicted to coffee, and once they like the coffee, they're never gonna move on to maybe something else. They're gonna like be loyal customers. And so I like what they're doing here is because they're introducing new products and new collections, which is great to scale horizontally, but they're also selling products that are consumables. And just imagine the returning customers that they have, which is allowing them to scale their business in the first place, right? Maybe their LTV is so strong that they can actually afford to lose money on the front end to acquire customers. And guess what? The businesses that win at the end of the day are the businesses that are able to spend the most to acquire each customer and still be a lot more profitable than any other company. So let that sink in because it's a really, really important aspect. Now, let me fulfill on the second promise. Let's go over the funnel. This is one of my favorite things to do. Let's see what they're doing over here. Let's take a look at the overview. This is the company. I like to use a tool called Atria. It tells me everything. I like to filter by longest running ads. I like to filter by active ads as well, just so we have the right numbers. And before we actually go over here, they're running like 400, let's see, Meta ads. They're running like 400 active ads on Meta, I believe. And they're also doing a lot of ads on Google. Oh, sorry, here it is. Already have it open. Yeah, 410 ad results on Meta. So they're scaling aggressively. 400 is like multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, if not even $1 million a month, depends. And then they're running a bunch of ads, a lot of video ads on Google. So either YouTube or YouTube Shorts, right? They're doing a lot of social kind of like work on Google as well. You see, the majority of these ads are actually videos, which is really, really interesting to see on Google, okay? So with that in mind, let's take a look at the funnel. Let's just see what happens. Probably I'm going to get redirected to one of their best advertorials. They're doing a 10 reasons why, advertorial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then they have like offers over here, get 56% off. I like how this is like easily displayed, nice image. And this is where I start to get really crazy about this brand and what I really like about it. It's the top of the fold mainly. These sections over here are like normal. They're nice, they're cool, they're us versus them. I like this section a lot, actually. Video reviews and written reviews. You can see both. You can see all of these kind of, and these are like all UGC videos, or most likely they are. And then they have an FAQ section. But what I do like most about this brand is that they're putting very high quality images over here on the top of the fold. I always like to say you should have like your landing page on this carousel section. All of your answered questions should be over here. Features, benefits, as you can see here, what you get, and the offer. This is how you should structure a top of the fold. People should understand what they're getting and the value propositions, the features, the benefits, but without even scrolling the page, without even doing 1 or 2 scrolls. What I like here is that they have good reviews, a good section for reviews, a good save up to 56% today plus 4 free gifts. So they're, in some cases, in most cases, there's a product title here. And what they're framing it here is that people already know what they're getting. And so they're putting as a title the offer itself. So save up to 56% with 4 free gifts. But what I do like even more, and this is the absolute best thing that I love about this brand, and what we're also kind of starting to implement for our own clients, is this section where as soon as you take off the best deal, your heart sinks because you're getting one thing less. And so 2 bottles, 2 things less. 1 bottle, you just basically get a recipe book, sorry. And so you see how it's like it works super, super well. Psychologically, I love this. And so they have like monthly subscription benefits, so you can choose that. So let's see what happens when you click on the flavors. You can select, all of these flavors, and then you can this is what you get. You proceed to checkout. Let's see what their checkout looks like. But yeah, by the way, this section, a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? It's just an image. So instead of having your logo, you can just design this on Canva, and then you can put it over here. So very simple. I like how they're having an urgency. So hurry up. Some of your selected flavors are in high demand. 13, 14. It's strange that it's like this, but it probably should be the opposite, maybe 5 minutes countdown. Maybe there's an error on their end, who knows. And then they have like the free gifts over here. So free. I like that you see that very easily. The offer is over here, as you can tell. And then of course, last but not least, they also have some reviews here. How do you add these? Well, there's some apps and integrations that you can kind of like integrate and connect to to Shopify, and then you can also kind of customize this as you wish and want. Okay, so this is their funnel. What I also know for a fact that they're doing is that they have like a funnel that's working on the back end as well, that is similar to this. So they have ads, advertorials, sales process, add to cart, initiate checkout, and then they have like probably 2 to 3 upsells that they show on the back end to increase that average order value and lifetime value, of course. So they're probably either a couple upsells and 1 downsell. So the way that we do it for our own clients, at least, I'm not sure what they're doing exactly. I would need to buy the product, but the first upsell is right after the checkout, and it's a 1-click upsell. And if they reject this offer, they're going to see a downsell, so something that costs a bit less. An upsell is something that costs maybe a bit more or the same level as what they bought before, and a downsell is something that costs less. So keep that in mind. And so they see this offer of a downsell if they reject the first offer, and if they accept this one, they get to see another upsell, right? And so a take rate that is good, just for your own comparison, based on my experience, is around 15 to 20%, and maybe like 10% for your downsell. These are good metrics to go after, okay? Now let's go back over here because this is out of the subject line. Boom. Now we went over the funnel. We went over the 8-figure brand scaling approach. Now let's go over the advertorials, which is one of my favorite things about this brand. Let's take a look at exactly what they're doing with their advertorials. I like to go here and use this tool on the landing page section, and let's open up the best 3. Let me just close a couple tabs here. Let's just open up the top 3 kind of like advertorials and landing pages that they're using, which is basically the majority of their ads. As you can see, 220 ads, 178, 53. Let's open up one by one and let's do like maybe the top 3. So let's see what they're doing. They're doing a 10 reasons why advertorial. So there's a lot of ways to do advertorials. You can do like authority figures, so you can basically use the name of somebody to as an article form. You can do storytelling. You can do 10 reasons why, 7 reasons why. 7 reasons why everybody's going crazy over this coffee and 10 million people bought it, something like that. And so this is really working well for them. As you can see, there's 2 different advertorial types, titles and kind of like, things, topics, I guess, but it's the same structure. It's like 10 reasons why. So they probably tested a lot of different things and it worked very well for them. So this is the structure that they're using. Advertorial, I told you already, offer, and one other thing that they're using, this is just another angle of New Year's Eve or whatever, New Year's Me. And then this is kind of like an interesting approach because they're essentially getting people into a quiz, which, by the way, they can still skip if they are not interested. So if I can go here, I can go directly to the offer, but either way, if I select these, it brings me to a personalized quiz. And I always like to say, if you cannot personalize the product, right, try to personalize the journey of how you present the product, because everybody appreciates kind of like a personalized journey, right? So analyzing your numbers, and then this is what I really like. First of all, like, keep in mind here, they're showing proof, because keep in mind that people go from an ad to just a random quiz. They better see some proof or something. And so this is a Trustpilot badge. Everybody knows this one, right? There's reviews, and these are the test results, which I really like how they're essentially getting into like showing you what your problems are and what they recommend you to use. So get 5x more protein and 100% less sugar with each coffee you drink. So apparently, in the quiz that I just completed, I wasn't even really following it. They recognize that I have high sugar or whatever. And so these are the top 3 things that we're trying to solve based on my quizzes. And then I can get the offer, which is, it brings me to a personalized offer. And same thing over here. I can get like, based 1 bag, nothing, or 2 free mystery gifts. And then, I get to choose from these options. And this is like a whole kind of like landing page with 3-tiered offers. You see, it's like, it's kind of similar to what I showed you before, but it's a really, really nice high perceived value landing page. And as you can see here, you can go through all the features, the benefits, the do's and don'ts, the steps within the top of the fold. This is a really, really important deal. I really like what they're doing here. So let's go over this funnel, their advertorial strategy from a 30,000 foot view on the top. This is essentially how it looks like. They're selling one product. They're selling multiple products, but for each product, they're doing this. They're doing one product, multiple different angles actually, but I didn't have space to show it over here. One angle is basically, you sell the coffee because it's better taste. You sell the coffee because it has less coffee than usual, and it still gives you the same effect, but you can still go ahead and sleep without having the coffee effect. That's one angle, right? So they're basically approaching different angles and promoting in different angles, and that's how they're also scaling horizontally. They're scaling horizontally by doing more creatives, by introducing more product, but also introducing more angles, and this is one of the primary things that I love about these 8-figure brands and how they're scaling horizontally. Okay, so each product has different angles, different ads, and then different groups of advertorials like I just showed you, and then they go directly to the product page. And what I also like about advertorials here, which I'm trying to show you here in this diagram, is that you add an extra layer of retargeting, and people don't forget about these things, but essentially what happens is that you can retarget people that saw advertorial number 1 and retarget them with advertorial number 2 to maybe solve a different pain point or a different objection. Sorry, that's what I meant. And so you create these extra layers of retargeting that you can just retarget them and actually have several options. You can retarget the same people that saw advertorial 1 and show them advertorial 2 or advertorial 3 or the product page again, right? That's another option. Or you just show them the same advertorial. But I like to switch it up and go from there. But this is what I also really like about advertorials. They're very information based, low pressure information. It's not like sale. It's like information about the brand and the product, the reputation, us versus them, what are the best things to do, what are scientific methods, proven methodologies. It's very scientific, it's very knowledge based and consumption based, which is absolutely great, and the type of sales process that I really like, and it works very well. On top of this, we have to consider one thing, is that they're really going hard on CRO. As you can tell here on the headlines, this is a perfect CRO split test. Changing the headlines over here and changing a bit of the content, this is a CRO thing. If you don't do CRO, I'm not sure what you're doing. If you want to get to that next level, you should have a tracking system for CRO. Let me show you how we do it internally and what they're also probably doing or something similar. We have a sheet, this is a command center. We have this sheet for all of our clients. And we have multiple months, and just for the months of October, we do 2 tests a week, depending on the volume of the client, and we track everything. So we have hypothesis, right? So the product page, let's actually do the advertorial. We're trying to improve the advertorial. Headline change, which is just what they did, right? Hypothesis, by improving the advertorial, we expect XYZ to happen. Expected increase in conversion rate, 0.25%. Expected AOV, duration of the test, all these things. We also have a Figma file where we typically draw it on the Figma, and then we approve it, and then we put it on Shopify, and then we have real life examples of how the test actually went. And so this advertorial test increased by 0.29% the conversion rate, and then we also have notes. Was the test successful? Was it not? Increase in AOV, decrease in AOV. I know that I'm talking a lot, guys, but this is really, really important information. Tracking is key. And by the way, on a side note, if you want access to this sheet, not just about CRO, we have a UGC tracker, ad copies, a creative testing tracker, with a bunch of different things, creative concepts. We also have a daily report section, and also an ROI calculator where you can put your numbers and kind of do your thing and see how things change within your business. You can use these because this is the same exact sheets that we use to scale our clients to 7 and 8 figures, and also just to document everything that we do for our clients. And you can use the same thing for your own brand, just so you have everything organized and everything kind of put down on paper and documented. There's a link down below if you want it. Now, moving forward over here, this is one thing that they're doing. They're being very successful at split testing a bunch of different things. And I can also promise you that they're doing the same exact things over here on their, all of these are CRO tests. I already can see these, changing the headline, adding this feature. They maybe didn't have it before, adding this section over here. These are all things that really matter. And if you think about it, if you can increase conversion rate by 0.1%, so you go from 2 to 2.1%, every month, at the end of the 12 months, at the end of the year, what's going to happen to your AOV and your conversion rate? What's your expectation? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have a very strong back end, which will allow you to scale your front end it even more. Everybody's like, when should I get into CRO? When should I get into CRO? In my opinion, as soon as you cross like 150, $200,000 a month, you should get a CRO team, a CRO specialist, somebody that can start allowing you to implement and build a stronger backend so that you can spend more to acquire a customer and still be profitable, right? This is the whole component of how 8-figure brands get to 8-figure scale in the first place. So this is what they're doing. They're tracking all the results, and they're also doing like advertorial split testing with headlines, CTA buttons. You get the point. Same thing with product pages. This is what I highly recommend for you to do if you want to get to that next level of scale. And then let's take a look at their ads. I noticed that most of their ads, in many cases, companies that want to scale aggressively with their paid ads, they do like a B-roll approach where they basically ask a creator to do a bunch of different B-rolls and film different scenes. So like opening the product, them being happy after using the product, sad before using the product, unboxing it, using it, putting it on the face, whatever. And so they basically put all these scenes together and they create videos, and then they each video is like a frame, and then they have like a voiceover to it, and that's how they scale. But in this, they do that. This Savvy Coffee brand does that, but most of their videos are like raw UGC videos from one creator. And not a lot of just B-roll. It's more like a talking head, and they're talking about the coffee, right? And so this is their process. They're onboarding creators. They're doing an in-depth training and giving them like a script and a framework, which is what we do as well. Exact same thing. And then they receive a final video. Let me show you some ads and go through why what they're doing is working. Ads over here. Let's just filter by most recent.
Ooh, yeah, that smells good. Ooh, like really good. Have you guys seen this stuff? This Jabby coffee concentrate. My favorite YouTuber raves about it, and I just tried it now, and I'm so excited. I don't have any ice, so I'm going to do it.
So very, very raw, simple, talking head, even slow paced. Like there's no like fast section. So this is apparently what's working for them.
Listen, if y'all are still making coffee the old way, that's fine with me. But let me tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna be repurchasing any more cold brew stuff. I was buying that pre-made cold brew.
A very American accent there. That was fun. But very raw. Let's take a look at some other ones. This is maybe the only one that has like some B-roll stuff with just headlines. Let's take a look at. They're doing some interview styles over here, but overall, let's see another one with UGC.
This coffee concentrate.
Very raw.
All over your For You page.
Very, very raw.
If I have to use 1 teaspoon, I'm gonna use 2 because I need.
These are like also like TikTok style, so like super raw, authentic.
What are these coffee concentrates, and why is everybody obsessed with them? If you still don't know what these little bottles are and why they're trending, let me break it down for you. This is super concentrated, 100% real coffee. All you need is 1 to 2 teaspoons plus water, milk, or any liquid of your choice, and boom, cafe quality coffee in seconds. Done in 30 seconds with.
So this is probably the founder or a strategic, whatever, creative director, and they're doing the ads for the company. But you see how they're like going back and forth, doing fast-paced, like they're fresh and they're doing
No waiting and
no calories, features, benefits. I really like what they're doing here. Let's take a look at the longest running to see what is longest running. These are just image ads, probably also retargeting because they have like a sale and a promotion. Let's take a look at this one.
Here are 3 cold brew myths you won't believe. Myth number 1, most big coffee stores are selling premium cold brew.
So this is an example of B-rolls with AI voiceovers in some cases.
False, because most chain stores use a cold brew concentrate, and that's exactly why I switched to
And this is what they were doing, what I was telling you before. So they're going to the creator and they're telling them, film me 10, 20, 30 B-rolls. I'll pay you $100, $200, whatever. Typically, it's the same price of one video, which is the advantage. Then they get everything and then they reframe it, give it to the editors. They give a script to the editors and then they mix and match the script with the right B-roll scene, right? Doing something similar here.
I decided to say goodbye to my coffee maker and hello to Javi from now on.
This bottle right here has over 30 servings of coffee. So concentrated that you only need 2 teaspoons of it. There's no brewing time.
Doing something similar here.
This is the biggest money-saving hack of 2022 if you love iced coffee.
So these are not active, by the way. What am I doing? I have to filter by active. So, but most of these concepts they're still running. I saw, but we have to filter by active. Always remember to do that because you want to always understand what's working right now, right?
Listen, if y'all are still making.
We already saw this, right? So these are the types of ads that they're running. You get the point. And what you can do with this tool is that you can actually go in here and and transcribe the script. You click on transcribe if you see it over here, and we're able to essentially generate that same exact script, which you can then copy and also maybe put it into ChatGPT to get similar scripts, or you can use a feature that says, create a similar script in Archer itself. So this is also a feature that we use and to always stay, on top of mind and to test different strategies and test different scripts. What I always wanted to show you as well is I wanted to see if they're also doing whitelisting. Let's see if they're doing whitelisting, and then if they are, I'll explain what it is. Whitelisting is essentially, okay, they're not. I also don't know why they're saying they have 400 ads, but we can't really scroll down. Maybe it's like a bug. But either way, whitelisting is also something that really works well. Let me quickly explain how it works. But let me show you, because this is a really important concept to understand. Let's take a look if it's over here. So this is it. You collaborate with creators. So whitelist is one of the best ways to decrease cost per acquisition almost instantly. It's a great strategy because the UGC video seems a lot more, what am I doing here? Is a lot more authentic, right, and unbiased. And what's a whitelisting ad? It's basically a partnership between the brand and the creator. And so you basically see, as you can see over here, like you can run ads from their profile directly, or you can have ads where you can anybody that sees the ad can see that the creator is in partnership with the brand, and so it also adds authority. And this is a great way to keep it very raw, and it's a very good deal for them because you basically spend thousands of dollars or millions of dollars potentially on their from their ad account, or sorry, from their Instagram account and Facebook page, and so they get a bunch of likes and comments and shares and followers. So it's a no-brainer for them, and at the same time it helps you because it keeps the authority, or the authenticity of the ad really, really high. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you're a brand doing at least $50,000 to $100,000 a month at least, and you want a free audit, we actually have some free slots open right now. You can book a call. There's a link down below. And don't forget to get the command center, the sheet that I showed you before. It's super, super valuable. We spend a lot of time there, and that's it. Great, so I'll see you in the next video. On a side note, before I end it off here, if you actually own an e-commerce business and you want your business and your brand to be audited, we can just hop on a call, hop on a free strategy session with myself or one of my team members, and we can pretty much have a conversation about your roadmap towards next year and how perhaps you can reach your goals. The conversation is very laid back. It's honestly just to understand if there's an opportunity for us to do even business together one day, okay? With no further ado, thank you once again, and who knows, maybe see you in the next masterclass.